They've been using it in a long-range standoff role and have had some successful intercepts of a couple of Ukrainian aircraft. The MiG-31 is derivative of what was called the MiG-25. And this was an aircraft optimized to fly at Mach 2.5 at roughly 60,000 feet to intercept what we were going to build back in the early 1960s called the B-70 bomber. And this is the aircraft, the early version, the MiG-25, where we had a defector fly one into Japan. So it's a big, powerful piece of iron that can go fast and straight. It can carry an anti-satellite weapon, which is, it's been tested, airdropped anti-satellite weapon. And then also they've armed it with what they call Crystal, which is a air-launched version of the SS-26 short-range ballistic missile. They tout this as their hypersonic wonder weapon. And a couple of those have been launched at targets, but again, a handful, if you will, a tech demonstration of that capability. It's quite clear that this air-launched version of the SS-26 is not operational in any large numbers because they've used it, again, in the public domain in a very small number of attacks against Ukrainian targets. Most of the air-launched cruise missiles are coming off their strategic bomber force, and they're operating in a standoff distance to avoid being shot down or intercepted by the Ukrainian Air Force, which is still very much in play. The Ukrainians have a mixture of MiG-29s, Su-27s, Su-25s, the fighter bomber, the A-10 variant, and then finally they have a handful of the old Su-24 swing-wing fighter bombers. This last tranche of weapons that the United States is providing hasn't been given much publicity. This is this guided bomb, the inertially guided bomb called JDAMs. We're providing this to the Ukrainian Air Force. And what this will provide the Ukrainian Air Force is a capacity to use its tactical aircraft at low altitude, approach the front lines, and launch, in essence, JDAMs in a ballistic flight like an artillery shell or a multiple rocket launcher to provide precise close air support to the Ukrainians. And that will, I would argue, significantly improve the military utility of the Ukrainian Air Force. And that's a low-cost, smart way to provide modern ordnance, which is, we've got lots of that at low cost to the Ukrainian Air Force, which will make a military difference on the battlefield.